Okay, so here we've got ourselves a bronze Pharah to review. We are starting a minute and a half or so into the match because the player started on Soldier, and this is going to be a fair review, which he plays for the rest of the match. If you guys are here to watch, see what happened, that's great. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like it. If you're looking for coaching, as you're seeing here and in more detail, etc., you can reach out to me through Discord, Twitter, YouTube comments, etc., and we'll connect and I'll go ahead and quote you a price. But if you're here for the show, let's go.
I will protect the innocent.
Enemy turret ahead. Watch yourself.
Okay, so you're playing fair. You've got a Mercy in the game on your side. Whether or not they'll help you is a different question. And you're actually playing Echo Pharah. So that's interesting. We're going double skies. So you're not really in this fight. They have two ults going, their Molten Core thing and Nano. You're down two people. So I'd actually just chill back here, wait. You can go get that health pack and back out, or you can go behind you. That'd be better to get that health pack and then wait. And you'll want to go up and take this once your team is at main and ready to push in. I know it's bronze, so you might not get a full 6v6, but you can get better. Now just hide, just wait. Just crouch and wait. No! That's good. I know you were saying that Torb was giving you trouble, so that is the correct way, where you peek and it takes a second, less than a second, but it takes a moment to lock onto you, so you get to peek fire, because it has to turn and lock onto you each time, so you take less damage. But you were a little bit early here. And rather than dropping down to get heals from these guys, it was okay to move a little bit because, hey, the Winston was there. You actually would have been better off E-ing away. So what I mean by that is the Winston went here. You've just killed the turret, so that's not a problem. And any other threats from them? Not really while you're in the sky. So the only threat to you in the sky is this Winston. And you, when he came up here, could have just E'd yourself away like this, or E'd yourself across like this, would have been even better. And then you shoot at him. And you might go, oh, but then I'm at 100 health. Yeah, but your Sigma's going to take some space. You're in your Anna's line of sight, so she can see you. And once your Mercy is able to transition, because your Sigma takes space, hopefully your Mercy will come up and join you, and you'll be able to do pharmacy shenanigans. She won't fully pocket you in this because A, bronze, and B, you've also got an Echo, but this would have been the better play. You go, oh, there's someone up here. Now let me E over to here, or at least let me float back a little bit, and now I can poke out this monkey, and there's nothing he can do. I can just break his bubble, keep shooting at him, etc. if I want, and, all they can do is shoot me with Anna, Orisa, etc., and if they do, I drift right, or then I drop, etc. Because now you're kind of stuck on the ground with a good, half your cooldown on shift left. Okay, you tried to lead those shots, so I'll take it. The monkey's here. Okay. So you were out here in the open. If you wanted to get the kill, that's, I can live with that. But then you could have E'd yourself back to cover because you were taking damage. So you send an E to the right and it pushes you back behind cover where you can go get the Mega if it's up. And that would have broken the turret line of sight faster. But I like that you're on the flank over here as your team is pushing mid. That's very good.
Back online.
You did need to back up here. You could have used your jet fuel to end up over on the right high ground. That's better. And the high ground is still better. Even the left high ground is better. But now, yeah, poking out the Winston is great. Yeah, see? Anna can't really finish you. Anna can't hit a sleep and then walk over and nade you and melee you if you're up on that mid-high ground. She just doesn't have the option to, melee you, to get close to you, to do those things. And that Torb turret is over there around the corner, so if you had finished up here. The Torb turret can't get you. You can poke into these guys, and if it gets too hot, you still always have the option to drop down and tuck in, or drop down and go around here for the Mega, and then go back up the elevator, etc. So that would have been a better placement. With Pharah, you're thinking about, hey, you have more ability than most heroes to go vertical, so you want to take advantage of that when you can. You want to take advantage of that to open up unique angles on your enemies, but you can still do it from places where you have some safety. You are relatively safe from the Ana here. If you go up here, you're pretty safe from everyone. They have to really crane their necks and turn their screens to look at you if you're over here. Like, if we put this in perspective, what ends up happening is your team wants to be shooting from here, right? Well, let's just shift over a little so the Holt's not in our way. If you're up here as Pharah, if these guys want to shoot at you here, they have to turn and kind of look their screen like that. And that's sort of what they get to see if they turn and look their screen like that, which means they can't turn and look their screen like this at your allies. It's one or the other. They can go one or two. They can't do both. So, some of them can do one while some do two, but that still lightens the pressure on each of you, because if they're going and looking version 2 at your core, then you get to rain on them relatively for free. And if they're looking at you, your core gets to shoot at them without really being shot at themselves. So this is the type of place you want to be in if you can, and you can use this lip, this high ground, to protect you. If you take damage, you just back up. If they look at you too heavy, you back up, and then they look back in 2 direction, and then they're looking in 2 direction, and then you can go, okay, well now I'll rain my rockets on you, etc. And then they go, okay, well maybe we'll look back, and you do the dance again, etc. It's great. You just do it all day, and they get upset, and then when you get in too much trouble, you go get your health pack, or your Ana shoots a heal and gets you, or your Mercy goes, hey, our Pharah's doing a lot of work. Maybe I'll go join her up there. It's really wonderful. I can't overemphasize it enough. Okay, maybe I could, but I'd have to try really, really hard if I was to overemphasize it. Whereas down here, you get punished by, Ana, Sleep Dart, Nade, Melee, all those nasty things.
I will not fail
60
again.
seconds remaining.
You can also E yourself forward. If you E straight down, it'll send you forward, or you could do a quick 180 E just a little behind you on the ground, and it would send you forward. You can transition back into these fights a little faster. Okay, finish on the half roof there. Finish on the half roof. Yeah, you're working too hard to kill that turret when the turret's not yet a threat. So what I mean by that is... Where's our turret now? Did we break it? I don't even see the turret. Okay. But before the turret was here, and that's, that's fine. This turret, when it's here, isn't shooting at anyone, isn't shooting at your Sigma, isn't shooting at your Ana. It's not actually doing any work except when you're opening the angle to challenge it. So, yeah, you could have come over here and peek it down. You could actually do that. You could peek this wall over there. Look at how beautiful that shot would be if you transitioned up over here. So yeah, keep that in mind. But also, if their turret isn't doing anything until your team pushes in, you don't need to put yourself... Oh, here's the turret. You don't need to put yourself in a lot of danger to go get it. But this turret, yeah, you'd go get this turret. But that's easy. If you're here, you go like this. No one can see you. You peek this wall. You shift. You shift. You just spacebar for an instant. You zap it. You spacebar for an instant, you zap it, and the other team, the team couldn't really touch you. They could touch you when you went for the turret, but that was it. Or you could transition up here and do the same thing from up here and go, okay, turret, close, and again, if they want to shoot at you, they're looking up at you, waiting for you to open your sight line, which means Sigma's barely on the screen, Ana's barely on the screen. They're not really paying attention to what they're doing. They can see Echo, but ideally you and your Echo would split a bit. So like you go over here, your Echo works her way over here, etc. And you can get tons, you can play tons better like that without having any better aim. You get to stay here behind, yep, you got to stay there until the Discord closed. Yeah, this is much better. Good. And now you've got this beautiful shot, exactly. Now you didn't need to drop. I know they transitioned in, but you didn't need to drop. This drop is better. That Winston's free. Perfect. Look at all the work you're doing back here. Just lead. So yeah, you were missing health. The Orisa was looking at you. That's fine. You just leave. You just literally back up 2 steps, and she can't shoot you anymore. And then you peek again once your Rhine is charging in like that, because they have to pay attention to a charging Rhine. They're definitely not going to be looking back at you while your Rhine is charging.
10 seconds remaining.
My team needs me.
Enemy turret detected.
Round 1. Complete. Score. Initiating.
We're at
match.
2 times. That's fine. I'll wait 10 seconds on 2 times. Actually, I don't have to.
Ready or back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Let's see where you play from.
Defend objective A.
Your support has arrived.
So,
Thanks for the assist.
usually you wouldn't use quite that much fuel to try and get elevation. You could use some of that fuel and then shift and then start going to fuel management. If you go that heavy all the way to 0 on fuel management, you're going to have a tough time really playing the game to maintain fuel. I think you're going to be thinking about your fuel too hard, not having enough, etc. And also that shift, because you used all your fuel, then you shift actually hit the skybox, so you didn't get full value out of your shift, but you spent all your fuel. It would have been much better to do that the other way if you're trying to get maximum height, where you could have used your full shift value and used only a little bit of fuel to hit the skybox. It's fine, but back where you were before was better, and now you have your shift, so go for it. Okay, now you don't go for it anymore. Now you actually go, hey, I can poke the monkey. The monkey just used leap, so he can't really do anything. If you shift up, you can shoot at the monkey, and then you can retreat back into the top story of Cafe. He can't jump for another 4 seconds. Okay. Your reaction was slow, so we got to jump back, but that's fine. You did some damage to him, so now he's going away to go get the Mega. So this is good. You can max range kill that Bastion like that. Very good. That E can be used to knock people down off of ledges, but generally E to move the Winston like that, you're better off moving yourself away from him with E than trying to move him. If you're moving him away, it can potentially be okay. It can make him more predictable. But moving yourself away from a character who has very limited range, like Winston does, is generally your better bet. It's fine, keep poking from here. You can again shift up into Cafe there. That's a better angle. You can get over shields and such like that. Yeah, I don't really like that E. E to move people around is a skill. You can E to move people off high ground, or you can shoot a rocket and then sort of shoot an E immediately after it to sort of lift them into the air, because the rocket can potentially give them a little elevation. The E sort of knocks them up and gives them a more predictable path to follow. If you're in bronze, I wouldn't be working on that skill yet, though. Quite honestly, it requires significantly better leading and aim than you have, and there's a lot of things you can work on between now and then. You'll get frustrated if you're trying to go, I'm going to E people to move them, and then they're predictable where they move so I can hit them with the rocket. You're going to frustrate yourself when there's a lot of more important base things you can work on your skills right now. Yeah, more E to move you, less to move opponents. And it's not like it's terrible for knocking opponents away like you did, but it's still generally better to knock yourself, because the way boops work in this game is if you're pushing against the direction of a boop, so like if you're pushing forward when a boop is trying to knock you back, it doesn't knock you nearly as far as if you're pressing back when a boop is trying to boop you back. So you can lean into booping yourself and always get a good value boop. Whereas if you boop a Winston that's walking towards you, you're going to get a minimal value boop because he was pushing the key against it, so you get a smaller boop. And you want to create maximum distance against a character that has no good range when you have lots of good range with those rockets.
I'm back.
Is your team actually here? Is your team really ready for you to make this play? I'm going to say no. Uranus here where she can't really support it. Urine's here where you'd have to charge in to support it. If Urine was like here, you could make this play. If your Anna was here, you could make this play, but you can't open this angle yet. So you should close this angle and just wait, and you can sort of sneak in quietly and barrage behind them in 3 seconds if you don't give away that you're here now. Good, good. Okay, but you were given away, unfortunately. Okay, not a big deal. You know, this isn't your natural habitat inside a hallway like this is, Pharah. You can't really use your abilities well in here. You were only here for the surprise play, and that really was gone as soon as your Bastion set up in here, because your Bastion was going to draw too much attention to you being in here. So at that point, you were better off going outside and using your skies.
Raptora systems online.
Go get a health back. The Mega's over there, that's better. And then you'll have potentially an angle to peek. Okay. This is better. It's fine. You were just a little slow to locate the Bastion, and range is your friend. I know you had to go high, so you couldn't really maintain range there because you were trying to go high over the Winston shield. And I get that, but you can actually play further back here, and I know you weren't going to this time, but in general you can play further back here. Bastion gets significantly worse when you get to range. He has accuracy issues, his spread gets pretty bad, etc. So you can play back here, whereas your projectile does full damage from back here. Just as much from back here as it does from right up here. And, you know, he's not going to move to avoid a ton of those because he loses a ton of damage if he starts moving. If he starts moving, his team is vulnerable. So that's good. You coming out here, potentially fine. But remember, you did still have your barrage. So you could potentially have been like, hey, I'm going to hover up here. I'm just going to hover up here without peeking yet. I know where the Bastion is. And then I'm immediately going to E in and double rocket him. Or I'm going to E in and missile barrage right on top of him. Or I'm going to E in and missile barrage into the 3 of them, etc. That was more, that would have been a better play than sort of going, I'm going to tackle him from here at mid-range with a Winston bubble in the way. Like, no, you could have played this corner where you can sort of treat it like the Tor, where you can peek, unpeek, go back, get Mega again if you have to, etc. Or you could all in hard with your E as a dive and use your ult. Those were both better options. Yeah, you're going to die if you use your ult, but hopefully you're going to take, you know, 1, 2, or 3 of them with you, maybe even 4.
I will not fail again.
Okay, so that's a little short one since I skipped your soldier gameplay there, but the 2 biggest things that you're going to worry about is on your attack, you were not making good use of your high ground angles. You were finishing on the ground all the time, and you don't want to do that. And then the other thing is going to be your concussive blast usage. Your concussive blast is most of the time better used on you than on your opponents, especially at your current ability level. And usually it's going to be used to, sometimes it's going to be used to push you out, like could be against that Winston. Other times you could use it to push in very quickly, like you could have for a good missile barrage at the end there against the Bastion. I hope you found that helpful. Anyways, just a reminder, if people are here just, you know, watching the content, that's great, but do feel free to like and subscribe. If on the other hand you are here for coaching, you can reach out to me in YouTube comments, Discord, or on Twitter, and I'll get back to you with rates. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.